Okay, tell me your name.
Okay, Barry Turman.
Okay, how are you related to Will and Ella Irvin?
I'm their grandson.
Okay. Who is the oldest family member that you remember, and what do you remember about them?
Well, my grandmother, Mama Irvin, we called her. I called her. I remember that when I was born and very small, she was very old because my mother, Ann, her daughter, was her youngest. And that made my grandmother, Irvin, seem to me very old from the day I was born, not just like a normal grandmother that grows with you. So that I always felt like that she was, she was a hardworking lady that even in her old age, she still wanted to work all the time. And I never will forget when she'd come babysit me. And she was just the funniest thing. When she was a quiet person normally, but I can remember even as a little tot, maybe 5 or 6, how she would make me laugh. And that's the main one on the Irvin side. I remember some about my father's side, probably a little more because they were younger. But that was the oldest one and the most I know about her. Of course, my mother and father I know a lot, but I won't go into that.
Okay. What is your fondest family memory?
I'm picking one. I think just having a close family that we always. I mean, there were hard times for most of us, Cotton Mill Village, and didn't have all the money in the world. But we always had fun at Christmas. We had our big get-togethers. The Irvin family was so large, we'd have a Christmas get-together every year. Have old films of that my dad made. So I suppose just the feeling of having a big family was my fondest overall memory. I mean, there's isolated cases of extreme excitement, but that was it. My new bicycle, for instance.
Okay. What historical event during your life do you remember the most vividly?
Kennedy assassination.
What do you remember about that?
I was a student at Auburn, and I was in band, and we were practicing for our homecoming routine, and Bodie Hinton, our band director, all of a sudden stopped everything, called us over, and basically he had tears in his eyes, and we had never seen anything like that, a band director, and he said he had some terrible news, and he told us, and I never will forget the feeling of just standing there wondering, I was a grown-up, but by then not completely mature, obviously, but as a college student, it floored me, and never forget that. So that's it. There are others, but that was the big one.
How did that impact your life?
I think it was short term because we had so many events happening after that, but it just made you wonder about things at that age. We were going through a pretty rough time in the country with the war going on, and it was a tough period for most Americans. And as a college student, you're formulating a lot of thoughts going into the military, those things. So I guess that probably was the biggest impact. It matured you in a hurry. It made you think about things you hadn't thought about before.
What was the best time of your life and why?
Oh, that was tough too. Oh, it better be my day I got married because if my wife sees us. Actually, it wasn't though. We kind of ran off, and it was one of those little things that let's do it. Okay, but overall, yes, I think my military service was high on the list, but I think probably just getting married, finally finding the right one, and here we are, 42 years later.
Oh wow!
So it worked, and I guess that's kind of hard these days to make it happen.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, we appreciate your time doing this, and you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
And this is fun. And just tell, Kevin will see this. It's great, Kevin. Appreciate all the work you put into this. Bye.